So, this is my 2019 F250 6.7 liter turbo diesel, and it's soon time I get a new one. So why am I getting rid of this one? Well, I'll tell you, it's not because I don't love the truck. The truck's been fantastic, to be honest. Tons of power, 450 horsepower, 935 foot-pound of torque at 1800 RPM. The thing's a beast. I mean, all you have to do is look underneath this hood and see the lack of space, and you can understand where all that power comes from. I honestly don't know how Ford does it, nor do I know how the mechanics work on them. So that said, why am I getting rid of this truck? Well, there's a number of reasons. First off, like I said, it's not because I don't love the truck. The truck has been really good to me. I've had it since May of 2019, and it's served me well for what I've needed. When I was a foreman and an operator, I towed stuff with this every single day. If it wasn't a mini, it was a roller. If it wasn't a roller, it was a skid steer. The thing worked and still works. I plow snow with this thing every winter without fail. So after saying all that, what is the reason? Well, the reason is because I'm not doing those things as much anymore. So the truck has had some issues. I won't lie. There are some electrical issues that just seem to haunt these 19s, 20s, and even some of the 21s, where they just don't seem to communicate properly with some of the functions or features. And on top of that, like I said, I'm not hauling every day. So do I need all that power, and do I need a diesel? Because let's be honest, the diesel is extremely expensive to run. And there is the second reason why I am switching. I'm actually switching to a gas, not a DEF, not a diesel. Like I said, it's not really because the diesel has let me down in any way. It's just that it's an added expense that obviously is not needed for what I do daily with the truck. So it's going to be a gas. I'm still going to have lots of power, still going to have a fair amount of torque, and I can still tow when I need to. So, all things considered, it won't be a bad upgrade. The 2019 also had a digital display in the center, and then your analog gauges. On the steering wheel itself, you did have your radio controls, your cruise control settings, your volume, your phone, and your selections for inside of your computer itself. Fuel economy. To say that these trucks are beasts without realizing they use a lot of fuel is kind of silly. So this one is no different. On 5,500 kilometers, I'm averaging 16.8 liters per kilometer. That's not fantastic, but it's also not horrible. Like I said, I don't tow a lot anymore, but I do plow snow, and I have been recently. Some other features that the 2019 had was this top box along with your bottom, your 12 volt and your 400 watt max plug, AC plug, your 110. And then this model as well had the power rear slider, which was nice. Got your cloth seats, power adjustable. Lots of space inside the door here. Nice handles. I liked this positioning. The door locks and everything Everything was nice and handy. Your power mirror options, power extendable, and then of course lots of storage down below. Back seat wise, tons of space. As you can see, I use it quite a bit. I jam a lot of stuff in here all the time. In the back itself, I do have cigarette lighter adapter here, and I believe that was it. I have this covering on it on the bench seat itself. The seats do fold down. You just pull the tab here, just pull the tab and it would come down, and then you'd have all your storage. And a lot of the stuff on the 2019s is stuff that's still available today. Like, they didn't change a lot of stuff, like the mirrors. These things, they haven't needed to change them because they work so good. They're some of the best towing mirrors in the business. The only one that really has them beat, I think, even close, would be Dodge. And again, that's just personal preference. I've gotten quite used to these towing mirrors, so these are what I'm used to now. So the truck now has 146,000 kilometers, almost 147,000 kilometers. None of them were easy. Ford did have the Sync 4, or sorry, the Sync 3 in this particular model. It's a great system, very responsive. I never had too much trouble with it, to be honest. Worked great for everything I needed. I plugged my phone in, it had Apple CarPlay. It's got all your volume knobs, media knobs, everything's easy to reach at. Also had your heat down here. This didn't have climate control. It was sort of a base XLT. It's extremely dirty inside, so I apologize. I haven't cleaned that out yet. But your four-wheel drive selector was here, and you would pull out for your diff lock. Your headlights over here, your mirror lights here, your normal knobs for your windshield wipers and all that jazz over here, and your shifter column with your manual mode shifting. Now, this particular model had the 6-speed transmission. It was a bit different than the newer trucks coming out. Obviously, most of them having the 10-speed transmissions, and it's mating up really well from what I understand. The 6-speed was great. I didn't have any problems with the transmission. Knock on something. That said, I don't know if everybody's story is the same as that, but mine was certainly decent with this truck. Like I said, the issues I had with this truck were mainly electrical, and because of that, I'm ready for a new truck. So, in saying all that, will I miss this truck? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'll miss the diesel. I'll miss the diesel sound. What I won't miss is the burn off, the regen. For anybody that owns a diesel, runs a diesel, they'll know what I mean. Now, yes, you can delete it. This is a fleet truck with a company, so deleting that system is not an option. And I'll tell you, when you're sitting idle for any length of time, which I do, especially on sites sometimes, if I'm running gear off of the truck, which I have done before, pumps and etc., or chargers, that DEF kicks in, and I'll tell you, it is not pleasant. Especially when you're, in a tight street downtown, you've got buildings sky high all the way around you, and this thing starts burning off. Well, it can fill up the street pretty quickly with exhaust fumes and smoke. It's actually half embarrassing sometimes. So a lot of times if that happens, I'll actually shut the truck off. So I won't miss that, switching to the gas. The gas is cheaper, not to fill it, but obviously motor's cheaper, the maintenance is cheaper. The towing on the new 2023 F-250 is very good, considering, like I said, what I do. I don't tow that much anymore, and when I do, I'll have the power and torque I need to get what I need going. So, and for plowing snow. So if you're thinking about a 2019 6.7 Powerstroke, what can I tell you? I can tell you I wasn't disappointed. I can tell you that it has worked really well for me in the amount of time I've had it. And I can also tell you it's a beast. And that's not an understatement. These trucks, for comparison, I switched from 2016 Dodge Laramie 3500 with a 6.7 in that one. That one was pushing 900 foot-pound of torque, but it was all metal construction, so it was all metal panels. The truck was very heavy, felt very sluggish on the takeoff, but it was a towing machine. Like, it did not care if there was something behind it, it would go the same speed regardless. But it was slow to get there. Like, it would take a while to get to speed. When I switched to this with the all aluminum body panels, the first thing I noticed, well, one, I switched from a 1 ton to a 3/4, so obviously there was some difference there in weight already. But then to switch to the aluminum, when you tramped on this compared to that, you were getting somewhere quick. That 6.7 has no trouble getting this truck up and moving. So, yeah, it's a beast. There is no hesitation in this. When you give it the fuel, it wants to go. And that was one thing I loved about this truck. And it's one thing that I'm hoping I don't miss when I switch to the gas and the 7.3. Now, some of the reviews I've been watching already have been extremely positive. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed. But that said, who knows, I suppose. Time will tell. And when we get behind the wheel of that one, hopefully sometime next week when this one does go back, we'll get a chance to figure that out. I'll also be interested to see the fuel economy on that truck versus this one. Like I said, no one in their right mind is going to look at a truck like this and start worrying completely about fuel economy. If you did, you wouldn't buy these trucks. You would buy a hybrid or something else. Like, these trucks were not built for fuel economy. They were built to get stuff done, and they do. Also, one other fun fact that I recently discovered, believe it or not, from TikTok. These things have sport mode, and I didn't know that. Double click on the old traction control. Traction control off, traction control on, and then double click. Advanced track sport mode. And I'll tell you, I honestly thought this thing was unhinged, I guess would be the best word, before I did that. If you have an older model work truck, like, you know, even I guess the 150s do it, from like 2015, 2016 up until I believe 2022. They removed it in 2023. But if you have one of those later model vehicles and you want to have a little fun, I suggest you try that, because you won't be disappointed. There you have it. That's the 2019 F250 XLT 6.7 turbo diesel. And if you buy one, I guarantee you will not be disappointed either. But that said, with the rising cost of diesel and the DEF fluid, you know, maybe that's not the right thing for you. If you don't tow a lot and you don't tow on a regular basis, you don't need the diesel. Do you want it? Yeah, probably. But you definitely don't need it. So I think that's probably going to be it for the video. We get to have a peek at the truck, get to wash it one last time probably before I get rid of it there. I got to clean the interior still, but anyway, all in all, solid truck. A definite buy. These things are holding their value like crazy. I just did a quick search on Google before I even went out this morning, and a lot of these 19s are going still for $50,000, $60,000, which is incredible for a truck that's, you know, this old already. But that said, we're going to come back when we have the new truck, and we will see what we think of that new 2023 F-250. So we'll see you then.
Bass rock, bass rock. DJ, give me that bass rock, that bass rock, that bass. DJ, give me that bass rock, bass rock, bass rock. DJ, give me that bass rock, that bass rock, that bass.